Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Harlan Blayne Kytwayhat about Prey, which is streaming on Hulu in the States, and of course Disney Plus here in Canada. You also know him as Sanguinet in Shoresy, Craving Canada, and on Hulu in the States. Welcome back to the show, man. It's good to see you.
Oh, it's good to be back. Good to be back. I was excited when I found out I was going to be doing another interview with you.
I know. It's like those junkets are pretty crazy, right? Because they're so quick, right? It's almost like speed dating. It's like speed dating, right?
Yeah, for real. Like 1 second we're in the interview, next second we're back in the waiting room, and it's like, I think we're going to be doing it with these people. I'm like, okay, slow down.
It's been a pretty overwhelming couple of months in terms of projects you've worked on that are out now in the world, but it's been pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like, Shoresy's doing awesome on Crave right now. If you go on the trending now category, Shoresy's in there, and Prey's like #1 on Hulu right now. Like, geez, like I would have never have guessed like these would have taken off like that.
All right, I have to do this one time. Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet. I'm sorry. Was it cool to see, though? We'll talk about Prey because you were phenomenal in that film as well. But for Shoresy, was it cool to see the instant love of Sanguinet? Like, people love this character like right away.
Yeah, I follow everything on Reddit too, and like there's always like subreddits dedicated to Sanguinet. It's always Sanger in that suit though, or something like that. I love it. I love it when I read those kind of comments.
It is so crazy. And it's one of those things, too, where, you shoot this show, your reps tell you that it's going to be on Craving Canada, but Hulu's taking it in the States. And you kind of play this waiting game of, like, the unknown of, like, how are people going to like it? And you're just waiting, and people seem to love it. So it was really, really cool. But, like, was it starting to hit you a little bit that, like, it was going to be instantly kind of seen in the States when it dropped? Like, it was pretty crazy, like, early on finding out about it, right?
Yeah, it was. Like, here in Canada, we got episodes of Shoresy weeks prior to it, but in the States, they get it all just in once. Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, after the 27th, I was waiting to see how it was going to be received in the States. And immediately I was getting like these DMs from fans, like from Texas or like the States or Washington. I mean, like I was like, whoa, these guys are all taking it in. I love it.
It is so crazy. And then, staying with the theme of Hulu, you have a movie that is taking the world by storm. People are loving Prey. Here's the thing. So, spoiler alert, but when you see the trailer for it, you then start sinking in that it is a prequel to Predator. Because, I saw, like, on your Instagram, it's funny because I was a little bit out of the loop with that one because I saw your Instagram post of the poster and I was like, oh, snap. And I'm like, is that Predator? Because it's a bit deceiving, right? Because it's not called Predator, it's called Prey, right? But whole different story, kind of prequel origin. So what's that like working on a project where there is some familiarity where they know Predator, but at the end of the day, it's not familiar at all because it's like a new world, right?
Yeah, like we're based 300 years in the past of the Comanche Nations peoples. And, even on set, it took a little bit for me to click like, oh, it kind of feels like we're just doing another period piece on Comanche people.
Yes.
And when the actors showed up in the Predator costume, Dana or Kyle, I was like, oh, wow, that's right. We're doing Predator. And I'm pretty sure like that idea, like I didn't share had those ideas to myself. I'm pretty sure a lot of people shared the like same thoughts, like, oh wow, this is just another period piece, but no, it's a franchise film.
It is pretty cool. When you were auditioning, did you know you were auditioning for like an untitled like Predator project? Like, what did you know about it?
Well, no, like the working title of it was called Skulls. And I actually when I found out about it, I went to LA for the audition because I auditioned to be Tabe, the brother of the movie.
Okay.
It was between me or him, so they went with Dakota, and they offered me the role of Itse, and I gladly took it. But yeah, like that's when I found out, like literally a day before I went to LA, they're like, Harlan, don't be alarmed, but I think this is the 5th Predator film you're gonna go audition for. I was like, no way. I was like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Was it refreshing for you to be working on two projects that are kind of completely different? Like, that's a really cool thing. Obviously, you go where the opportunities go, but like Shoresy, Prey, completely different projects, and there's different characters as well.
They are totally different. Like, in Prey, like we have to talk a certain way, right? Like trying to like have that older accent thing come out. And like we went to a dialect session and they just told us basically put your tongue at the bottom of your mouth and it just immediately drops like a tone and it just releases that accent. And then coming to Shoresy, you know, I was allowed to just talk like myself more or less, right? Maybe add a little something like a Canadian accent into there, but I really like saw how different it was. These two projects, totally different, but it's me in the roles.
But like again, like you audition, you go where the opportunities go, but it's really cool to be able to dive into all these different worlds and be able to kind of work on different projects. Were you hoping that was going to be the case, or was it kind of just one of those, if it happens, it happens for you?
Yeah, it's kind of like just going with the flow of things. You know, if I audition for this, all right, awesome. If I get a callback, even better. And, you know, if I meet the director, then like things are looking really good. But like I was just, if it went past that point and if I did book the role, that's all it was for me, you know?
What was the moment where you were like, this is what I want to do, acting, storytelling? Was there a movie or a show that you watched that inspired you? Like what, tell us kind of the climax kind of turning point of like you being like, yeah, I want to act.
Okay, so it was actually during my very first audition back in 2019. I auditioned to be an Outlander on Netflix.
Okay.
And I shortlisted for that. Like it was between, and the same thing, it was between me and another person, and they went with that other guy. And I thought like, wow, it's really like that. Like one audition can get you that far, that close to like the end game result, right? And so it was after that, I was like, okay, you know, I'll stick with it, see what happens. And then, you know, COVID hit, and then I just decided to keep trying to act and audition even through COVID.
No, but it's pretty cool. I mean, there's going to be kind of moments, and then you kind of work on some pretty big scale projects like Prey, where the sets and just kind of everything happening. What was it like kind of preparing for a little bit of this in terms of a lot of the scenes where you and Amber are like running? Like, what was that kind of like specifically?
Okay, like I'm already trained when it comes to archery, right? So I went into this project with that training already, which really helped. Like there was a nickname, like I was the Legolas on set, Legolas Jr., which I love the nickname. But we spent a whole month in boot camp. I think a couple of us landed around the same time, beginning of May. I got there May 5th, and we spent right up until almost the end of the month just running scenarios, working out for the whole month, and yeah, reading the script, obviously having our cast sessions. Yeah.
No, absolutely. It's so crazy. When the movie comes out and people are loving it and it's getting amazing kind of praise on Rotten Tomatoes, does that just kind of motivate you? Because I know you're working now, but it's kind of one of those like, that's great, that's awesome, I'm so happy. When's the next project? Like it kind of fuels you, right?
It does. Like, yeah, what is it, 92% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, #1 Hulu. It's crazy seeing how, like, not just the public is taking, but other, like, well-known celebrities are really enjoying the film who aren't Indigenous, you know?
100%. And it is really, really cool. What is it also about, you know, you look at, like, Sanguinet, and he's just a guy who loves hockey. He cares about his friends, the team, and everything. He's a very passionate person. Do you enjoy playing those characters like Sanguinet that are just very into it? Like, he's not even annoying about it. He just loves the team.
Yeah, I do. It's like, it's because too, like with the writing that Jared Kiso did with it, like the writing was phenomenal, and like just being able to portray that, I was like, man, I want more of this. Yeah. I need more. The world needs more of Sanguinet and Shoresy.
Oh, absolutely. And people are able to see season 1 of Shoresy on Hulu and Crave in Canada now. Prey is available. Very quickly before we wrap up, what are you hoping they get out of Prey when they watch it, takeaway-wise? I mean, you want them that it's entertaining, there's a lot happening, but it's a very important film as well, if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, with an all-Indigenous cast, I really hope people take away that, like, you know, we can we can do the things others can do. We can star in these big projects or work on smaller projects. I hope the takeaway the people take away from it is that we're still here rocking abouts with everyone else, and really hope they enjoy the film. And if anything, like some people, if they haven't picked up a bow and arrow before, like hopefully they do that, or learn how to horseback ride, because Comanche people were horseback riders. That was their thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it's so great, and I'm just loving the reception of it online. It's so amazing. I'm so happy for you and the cast. Harlan, thank you so much for coming back on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
Oh, it was awesome to be back. I can't wait for the next one.
Absolutely, the next one. You have an Instagram account that people could check out as well?
Yeah, it's just my full name, Harlan Blayne Kytwayhat. Or Harlan Kytwayhat is the one I have the open account one. Yeah, awesome. Harlan Kytwayhat. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You can catch a bunch of Harlan's projects, including Shoresy Season 1 on Crave in Canada, Hulu in the States, and Prey, which is on Hulu in the States and Disney Plus in Canada. Until next time, this is Harlan and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.